You are now listening to the In My Ass Podcast, Episode 3.
You gotta have like casual banter before it actually starts. That just makes it seem like more
What the fuck is up? Get the fuck up. Go the fuck to sleep. Go to work. Go home. I don't know where you are. Have some lunch. Brush your teeth. Just do you. I want to start it like that.
God.
I love that.
That's our official intro now.
Yeah.
Welcome to the In My Ass Podcast. We love our tastefulness here, you know?
Super tasteful. We've got the best humor.
For real, right?
Why wasn't that on the fucking yearbook?
Oh, class clown. No.
No, but that's... Oh, you're a clown.
It's
stupid.
corporate.
That's being stupid.
How do you make class clown sound fucking corporate? It's ridiculous. How about you just actually have a thing where people say
Just
that
don't have that. Just don't have awards for shit like that. But like still be like, oh, yeah. I wouldn't have mind if they had like I don't know, a click section that shows all the groups.
Yeah.
Just so you could look back and be like, remember this nigga? Remember when he used to talk to us? Remember when he had like dark hair? remember that shit? I would have just a picture of us just like that. They would have asked us, what do you want it to be called? I would have said Spit Click. That would have been it. I would have loved that.
God, imagine that.
And then most fashion forward was Hobby.
That's beautiful. Yeah, that's the most proud I've ever been was...
If only that could happen.
When I got my SAT scores, and when we fucking managed to get Javier Rosado, I'll bleep his last name. No, I fucking won't. When we got Javier to be most fashion forward, the joke is he's
forward, he's behind.
Yeah. No.
If only that could happen on such a larger scale with the Grammys and shit like that.
How do you have a most fashion forward award in a school where the only thing that you have choice in your clothing aspect of... Fuck, what was that sentence? The only choice you have for your clothing is your fucking shoes.
And your socks.
And your socks, right?
Wear your elite socks.
Wear your Supreme socks. Does Supreme make socks? They make bricks and crowbars. I would not
be surprised to make socks. I don't know.
Is it like a white sock?
I saw
knee high, and it just has a little tiny red square with an S in it.
I saw this 70-year-old hype beast. No. It was genuinely interesting. It was this guy. I forget where he worked, but he worked in this place, and he read a book that someone had recommended to him about the streetwear and how that's coming through, and that's the new shit. So then he started looking into different brands. He was this guy is just he's got so much more nicer shit than I do now. But I've never gotten into that. I think because I grew up thrift store shit, the same if you look back in a lot of pictures with me, it's me with my a bowl haircut, the ongo, the mushroom, the same blue jorts. I had a Pacers shirt, an Indiana Pacers shirt that I wore a lot, and then my huaraches, and that's if I find it, I'll try to send it to you. That's all I would wear. That's all the same shit. And then the only nice really nice pair of shoes I had were Flint 13s, which is a pair of Jordans, and they look, I don't even know if they're 13. I don't know. They're probably 13s.
I never knew anything about fashion whatsoever.
Oh, and for sure I don't.
Yeah, and even to this day, the only thing I can say is a trend of fashion for me that I can pin down is very, very stark colors. I either wear all black or
that's
gray.
You and I.
I'm very bland.
Yeah.
I'm a very bland kind of person. I do not want to stand out in a crowd. When my mom went and got me some fucking joggers or just workout pants or whatever the fuck, I don't know what they're called, but they're bright fucking blue. As soon as I saw that, I was like, oh shit, change. Everything else that I have is gray, black, or white. And I have no brand loyalty or anything like that. And I have one pair of shoes every fucking year. and they've always been black. And then one year I bought white shoes, and I was like, oh wow, that's cool. And they got scuffed to shit because I'm a retard. And now I've just started to realize that like I don't care pretty much as long as I don't look weird and like out of place. I'm perfectly fine to just kind of blend into the crowd. Like, you'll never see me on the red carpet of the Grammys looking like CeeLo Green did when he was painted all gold and shit. I'm the exact opposite of that. I look like the fucking Unabomber just walking around.
I'd like to think that if we, for some, like, just whatever, we're just on like some type of red carpet and we have to be dressed nice, we probably wouldn't. Yeah. We'd probably come through like
everybody's black tie events. I just wear my pajamas and shit. I wear my fucking pajama t-shirt, a pair of joggers, and then just like strap a clip-on bow tie around my neck. I would love to do that.
I never really fucked with jeans. I don't know. I don't like the way they fit on me.
I used to only be able to wear jeans.
No.
Now, ever since I started wearing like joggers and stuff and just like sweatpants, I feel like a whole new woman. I've been liberated, and I can sit down and be like, yo, I don't gotta change when I get up and go home. This is everyday wear, bro. Yeah. It's great. And I tried, and I have like a pair of like regular pants, jeans. I don't really know what kind of pants they are, but they're ones that actually fit me. I used to have fucking all my jeans used to have like boot cuts, so they were all wide as fuck on the bottom. So I looked like a fucking 90s rapper. But ever since I started wearing stuff that actually closes around my ankles and fits like a normal human being, like not skinny jean shit.
No.
Where it looks like I'm baking bread in my shit. Just
it gets that slightly
forms, just so something that forms around the actual shape of a human leg. I felt a lot more comfortable with that look, and that's like been the only thing that I actually think, fashion wise, has been a major thing for me. But I have a pair of jeans in there that I tried to put on recently, and it's the most uncomfortable shit.
Yeah, I don't like that.
And I've only had to wear them recently because it's mad fucking cold out and they're the warmest things. It might just have to do with the fact that I kind of have, for a guy and guys size jeans, kind of have a wide ass. Yeah, I kind of have a fat ass.
I've been telling you that since day one.
Dude. When I went and got my tuxedo for prom, the guy who was there, he was like this 70-year-old dude, and he was incredibly effeminate.
I've never seen an ass like that.
No, he was more like, I need you to do a squat for me. Do a squat for me. And I got up and I squatted down, and he was like, I didn't hear any rips, honey. And my mom was just like, yeah, well, his dad's side of the family, my whole Puerto Rican dad's side of the family, everybody has the same shape.
A Boricua booty.
Yeah, and it's fucking ridiculous. Like, to the point where it's ridiculous. Like, some of my aunts, frightening. Like, passing by them in the hallway is a fucking horrific event.
I'm just overweight.
I am too. But, like,
would you say that losing weight was a resolution that you had for the new year?
Segue. I had that in the new year. For the new year? Resolutions? I don't do that shit.
Yeah, I don't buy that shit. I do goals.
Yeah.
I have goals for myself.
That's the smarter way to do it.
Everybody should have that just year round.
When I started exercising, because I peaked in chubbiness at 185.
I'm at my peak right now.
And my dad weighs like 200 something pounds, and I was like,
with his Tims or without his Tims?
Both.
Oh.
But like when I saw that number, I was like, this is not okay.
Yeah, no.
So I started exercising, and now I'm hovering between the 160, 170 range. But before, that was in 2015. I didn't say, let me wait until New Year 2016. It was like when we went on that trip to the Tiger Showman's with Dan, started right there. I went there, I worked out, and I felt sore as fuck for a week. And then after that soreness came out, I was like, I want to feel that again. And now I love when I get a bout of just like 2 weeks of just exercising and shit.
I'm gonna find a bunch of needles.
But like, that was in like the middle of fucking August or something like that. And I spent the summer doing that shit. And then I came back senior year, and I was like, I feel proud of myself. I lost 15 pounds over the course of the summer. And now, the only reason I've gained it back is because my arms actually have visible muscle now. Before, I haven't seen pictures of myself back then because I hated pictures. But I know if, like,
I was
the way my arm feels...
Oh my god, I was so skinny.
The way my arm looks and feels right now, instead of it being muscle and semi-toned muscle, it was all just chunkiness. Yeah. I used to stand in the mirror and, like, do that whole Schwarzenegger pose, and then it would be like a little boop, little tiny bump, and I would be like, I'm strong. And then I started doing that shit, and I was like, oh, I see them now, you know? Yeah. And it's like, it's not a thing that you should put off and say, I'm going to start this then. Because then you might hype yourself up and be like, okay, I'm ready to start this, but I got to wait 2 more weeks. It's like, no, if you feel ready to start this shit, do it right then and there as soon as physically possible. Because, of course, you can't just be sitting at your fucking 9-to-5 job and be like, I'm going to go get toned as fuck at the gym right now and get up and go. But, like, make your plans and start acting on them as soon as you possibly can. And when it comes to, like, New Year's resolution for weight, because that's the most common thing, don't just go to the gym one day, do some crunches, feel pain tomorrow, and be like, whew, that was hardy.
With that.
And then go to fucking Carl's Jr. for the next 2 weeks, and then don't go back.
They forgot my cookie.
Oh.
But here's the thing with that. Weight should be a part of a goal. It should overall just be health.
Of course.
Because that's the thing. I don't want to be jacked. I honestly don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I grew up super fucking scrawny. I was, like, it was ridiculous. Like every little kid, for the most part. Like, you could, like, lift up your hand and you'd see your whole fucking rib cage. And even then, I was like, oh, fuck that shit. That's weird.
Yeah.
But then I reached a point where I just didn't give a fuck. I could care less. I had bigger shit to do with, like, not killing myself. And not, like, I've never looked at myself and I said, oh, I hate my body. It's like, I'm 18. I'm gonna change that shit if I want. But I've just been super lazy with it. So instead of losing weight, it's been watch my health.
Yeah, definitely.
I try not to go.
My cousins, Isaiah and Emmanuel, they're really, like, scrawny, skinny kind of guys, and they don't have a lot of muscle on them. But even then, what I worry about with them is that the fact that every time I go there, instead of them, like, being active all the time, I know they do have their own things, like Manny is in wrestling and Isaiah's in lacrosse, so they definitely get their fill of exercise and stuff. But I think their natural metabolism is starting to kind of mess with them a little bit, because they'll have like 5 boxes of Pop-Tarts, have, you know, the little Entenmann's cookies, the mini cookies that come in the box of 30?
Yes.
My cousin Manny will just have 3 of those and just devour that shit and play Skyrim for like 6 hours. It's crazy shit, because if I did that, I'd breach that 200 threshold within the day. But no, they get to do that shit and stay like 90 fucking pounds. But recently I saw when Isaiah came back from college, miss you baby, when he came back, he had sat down in front of me, and instead of his gut inverting a little bit, it kind of peeked out a little bit, like right where the little landing strip is. It was, and I was like, oh shit, we got something. And he told me, he said his dad saw that and said that he's the skinniest fat guy that he knows. And that's my favorite quote of what to call him. I also spit everywhere just now. I'm an idiot. But yeah, health, watch that shit. Just because you're skinny doesn't mean your lifestyle is all that amazing. Because just because you're skinny doesn't give you warranty to go and eat fucking 30 Entenmann's cookies in a day. How the fuck do they do that? I don't know how the fuck he does that. But
I mainly just try to watch my sugar, because diabetes is a thing in the family.
Yeah.
So I try to watch that.
My biggest fear is with salt and
drink almond milk. I'm a G.
Kidney stones. Those are my biggest fucking nightmare. Because I do eat a lot of salty foods, and every once in a while I'll catch myself like really finding myself dehydrated. Not just because of like that, but also like your skin care and all that kind of stuff. So
that I don't give a fuck.
At this point, I can't give a fuck.
Yeah, no.
Because you have really smooth, nice skin. I have fucking craters in my shit.
You haven't seen my arms. But yeah, nah. don't give a fuck about being brolic. I just want to get rid of that body fat that's unnecessary. That's why I try to watch out for sugar. Try not to eat that. Switch to almond milk just because that.
Just I never thought I'd see the day I drink almond milk.
The Brazilian dude at work, he was like, I came over to this country and saw you guys' milk. He's like, I was scared. I didn't feel safe. It's like, that shit expires way too quick.
Really?
He's like, that's just not good. Like, your guys' milk, just like, no. That's why I drink almond milk. I can't drink milk from it. It's not even because he was like, oh, it's because it's an animal. It's not meant for... He's like, no, that shit's just not... It just doesn't...
I don't know about milk.
And I saw that, and I started looking at it. And that's the biggest problem with me. I never drank milk growing up, because fuck that shit. For all I know, that shit's expired. That shit's spoiled. But with almond milk, it's like... It's from a nut. I could drink nut. For sure.
Definitely.
Easy swallow. So that's the main thing.
I gotta do more improvement on that kind of front.
Certain body fat I want to lose.
Yeah.
But that's it. And then music.
Music is...
Just educate myself more with music. I don't expect myself to be a musical genius. But I want to be able to just like shit out some mediocre stuff if I ever wanted to.
I have a book around here somewhere that I gotta find, but I went and bought a music theory book. It explains scales and all that kind of stuff. The only thing is that I think it kind of expects you to have a little bit of prior knowledge, so I need to go and find all kinds of base information, which is it's fucking amazing how the information you can access on the internet can change your entire world when you want to learn about that type of shit. That's how I know that's how I'm starting to learn very basic Spanish and rules like that. I'm starting to learn at least rules like all that kind of stuff. Next, I just need to know all the verbs and adjectives and shit. But like, when I started watching music theory information videos and I started learning like this is how it works to make it sound good, then I was able to play keys on like the fucking beat that I made and make it sound beautiful and how I wanted it to sound. Because in my head I can hum that shit out all day, but unless I have like a very specific app that I can hum into and see the notes that I need to play, then I wouldn't be able to figure that shit out. Now I can figure out what key my songs are in, and then I'm like, holy shit, this is an amazing help to know what I can actually play that'll sound good and shit like that.
I'm nowhere near there.
Yeah, and then it's like, I'm even able to help my dad now, because every once in a while my dad will make a beat, and I'll hear like one or two sounds that are off key, and I'll tell him like, you should go and fix that and like bring that down a couple of semitones. Now I know what the fuck a semitone is.
Oh yay!
We just had a sound panel. Yeah. Last night a couple of them fell, but I'm working on that. That's why I keep pushing them in and shit to make sure they really secure themselves.
I honestly don't fucking care. Yeah.
Because I have the headphones on.
I know. Yeah, no, just
I like these phones.
Finesse some music here and there.
I've recorded my verses to the fucking Walking in the Winter song earlier today. Moving this microphone out to the middle of the room gave us so much liberty.
I'm struggling
to write to it
with my verse. Just because I'm not in a place where I'm like, if you would have asked me like maybe a year ago, maybe I'd give you some like really deep shit. Right, I'm chilling right now. I'm chilling right now.
That's what I want for this kind of vibe. What I want for this album right now is that
I could get deep. I could talk about some shit that probably I haven't said a lot about.
Yeah. What I want is this album, not album, but like little EP thing that I want to work on is that I was recently starting to like fluctuate back and forth again after dropping out of school and like having all that kind of stuff happen to me. And I wanted to capture that feeling that was there and also kind of give this thing at the end that what I wanted to call it was that why I called it Walking Past the Playground in the Wintertime and like the long form title is that I remember whenever I walk past the playground out here, the old place where for 10 plus years I would always go outside and have fun, and this is where every single fun memory that I have is. That shit is uprooted because of the construction. And what I had with the association of wintertime isn't just like when it's fucking cold out, because that's when it's the most fun.
It's great.
It's great.
Fuck that shit.
But it's always, I loved going out in the snow. The wintertime for me was more of like the metaphor and the symbolism is this fucking dreary, depressing time that I'm actually seeing that we're in right now. Because this is the park where all the kids who just started going to high school and graduating used to play in, and now there's the new park over here, but this one is just fucking gone, and that's what I remember most of the shit.
All these buildings, there's just
all the construction around here specifically. So it's like, I wanted to capture two things with that, where it's like the essence of remembrance and nostalgia, that the two sides of that come with it. The idea of, man, remember the good old days. That shit's sad that it's gone now, but also the fact that, well, we're still here. It's not just about the location. As long as we're still here, we still have those times, embedded in our memories and our experiences and shit. And that doesn't mean that shit has to stop now that the place is gone. As long as we are fucking around, wherever we congregate, that's where the fucking playground still is. And that's the vibe that I want to capture for this final song that's going to close out this album. And that's why it's probably going to be a lot better quality than a lot of the other songs on it.
I think I need to hear your verse to just
I can play it for you
just to give
afterwards,
me just to give me some type of like direction.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I'm struggling. Like I don't have a lot of shit written down.
Yeah.
But it's like the beginning of 3 different approaches. One that could be very hard, or one that can be super like, how do I put this? Just analogies. Get super witty with it, but also like in a very deep and emotional way. And then there's just like,
that's what I used to always do.
And then there's like 15 seconds of this flow, 15 seconds of this flow. And like 4 different flows in that little chunk that I have.
Yeah, what I wanted to do with this is definitely flex with flow.
The little flow that I have.
There's a little bit of sing rapping in it. It's not gonna sound good, but I did it sing rapping, so it's very casual kind of stuff. It's like 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 da da da. Very simple kind of little flow, and then there's just it starts off in the first half with like it goes like, used to be scared of the outside, like the great face of a mountainside. It was too high to just climb, and that fall would have been final. I wanted to have a good mix of plain language that everybody could understand, but also have like very good metaphors. Because a couple of months ago, or like exactly like last year, I started writing, and I had this totally different phase and approach where everything was intensely and extremely metaphorical and filled with analogies, to the point where it was just like everything was a metaphor. Nothing was exactly what it was in reality. And it reached its peak to the point where it was like, okay, I feel a little bit pretentious with this shit now. And then I started turning towards a trap rap persona. And I found that once I started getting into the mind of basic ass trap rap, or just like braggadocious type shit, early 90s shit that you could easily throw on a trap beat, it felt a lot more fun with that. And now I think I can combine those two things of having fun with the craft and the performance of it, but also being able to write something that I feel a lot of pride in when I read it back, playing with English language, I'm very proud of the verse. What I want to be very proud of is the hook, because I've thought long and fucking hard about the melody on this hook, and I need somebody to sing it that can sing.
I can't.
Because I know.
I can't. I wish I could sing.
I wish. Because I did a couple of tests on it, and it's like, I'm on key, but my voice does not work with it. Because there's like a long note that needs to be held. It's like walking past the yellow playground in the wintertime, and that time that you need to hold. Every time I hear myself on the mic,
you don't want it to be like
nasal.
A Kanye kind of...
No, I don't want it to sound like that.
Okay.
I tried messing with some of the other effects,
I can't sing. But
like, I don't know, I just couldn't make it bearable for my own. And plus, I don't have the vocal range for a couple of other songs that I want to have singing on. Like, the antithesis song to this one is called Never. And Never is like, it's one of my favorite beats that I've ever made. And one of my favorite little melodies that I've thought of in my head. Well, vocal melodies, because the vocal melody is the same as the piano melody that I sampled. and I can't take credit for that melody, but you know, I've really thought long and hard about exactly how I want it to sound, and I hope that, you know, like somebody like Emily, or if I could network around a little bit more and find better people who are, or at least a large range of people
who are qualified.
Yeah, no,
who
if
are
I could
trained.
find like a better circle of people with different kinds of things that they could offer and a willingness to like interact with each other and stuff like that, that would be great. Like what Emily has with the people on her little mini label thing, like sour raps.
Sour raps.
Can I get a sour raps verse?
Oh.
Oh my god! If I could get a sour raps verse, it would be dope. Cause now I have my own setup. I could tell her, yo, eat that link. I definitely need an explicit verse. I need to get an explicit verse. Well, I'm gonna compress the shit out of this. So I know how to work the limiter. So
I think that's the thing. That's the thing that's motivating me to at least try. It's explicit.
Shout outs.
I just want to see what I can do. Just because I know right now I can't offer much besides my support. And that's all I've really been doing for the past couple years with this whole music shit. It's just being super interested in it, and just like whenever you guys drop shit, like I'll listen to it. I'll be on it. I'll be one of the first people that's like, I really fuck with this. This is this. Oh, this sounds like this. Oh, I see you use this sample. Da 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 da. And try to just be like on there, or at least try to expose you guys to a lot of different shit.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I feel like, yeah, with you and Emily, I could push you guys to listen to more alternative indie shit, or like just old shit that like
stuff from left field is gonna
like
help you to feel inspired.
And that's why I want
the new sound.
That's why I wish I knew a lot about music. I wish when I was younger that I would have like been like, hey, I don't care what fucking instrument you make me play, as long as I know how to do it. And at least like from there I'll learn more about the whole music theory thing.
Yeah.
Because there's so many sounds that I just want to recreate just for myself. Just because it's like it's hard for me to explain, but right now it's that old kind of like romantic ballads that like groups would do, like in Mexico. There's just certain songs and certain combinations, and because I've been listening to Chicano Batman, like 2017 was the year of Chicano Batman for me. I fucking love those guys, but because certain songs just had just the way that the organ, like, number one, the fucking organ.
Yes.
Until like I listened to them, I never realized how in a lot of those songs, that genre, like the organ is just like amazing.
Yeah.
And it helps so much, and then the guitar with. I wish I could play the guitar just because, like, the riffs with the reverb, it's so specific to that genre, and it's, like, it goes, like, it could either go with the organ could either be, like, backing it up, or they just completely, like, contrast each other.
Yeah.
But it sounds amazing. And then...
every time I hear, like, when I heard, my favorite Chicano Batman song is Friendship is a Small Boat in the Storm, and that organ on it sounds like it's singing its own verse.
Yeah.
It's like, especially when it goes, when it just
I fucking love
raises that part.
When Bart does that. Yeah, mine is Magma.
I love that shit.
Because that whole, like...
I gotta listen to it more in depth. I know it's one of those songs that I have to sit down and listen to over and over again to really appreciate.
That was the number one song on Spotify for me. Most played.
I think mine was fucking Papa Ute. Because I got
a
really
banger. I wish I could
strumming.
make shit like that.
Yeah,
I wish I could make so much fucking music. Just for myself. There's so much like synth pop shit I want to do. There's a lot of Latin music or Mexican music or Spanish, however you want to identify it. There's a lot of shit that I want to do there.
Latin X music.
Fuck off. Yeah. There's just... I wish. Because there's so many little like attention to details and certain things that reoccur in like certain songs and certain like genres that like... I really fucking wish I could do it. Like, have a certain, like, little drum pattern that leads into, like, that long, like, organ hold, that long just note that's just being held on. Unlike that fucking foam that falls off the fucking door.
Oh, there's a piece of hair.
Where did you attach the thing? Did you attach it to the foam and then to the door? Or did you attach it to the door and then...
I attached it to the foam and then the door.
Mm.
What I need to do with it probably is what I did with this panel up here, where we have an adhesive spray, and you're supposed to spray the foam and then a little bit on the actual object. But since I don't have like a giant chunk of plastic that I can spray with it, which is probably the best thing I should use, if this keeps failing, I'll probably get like a fucking command strip, or I'll just nail the shit to the door or push a thumbtack through it, because the door can be temporary. I can push wood like nails through it.
I could get a
The wall
door
I'm
anywhere.
confused about. Yeah, the wall I'm not sure about. This though, I could easily just put like a little tiny thumbtack like right in the middle, and it wouldn't affect everything, or like a small nail. But you know, I'm perfectly content with if it falls off every once in a while, but the stickiness isn't becoming ridiculously low. I'm perfectly fine just walking up to it every like couple of hours and just being like, you know, you hold
Pat
on,
that
buddy.
shit down.
Pat the nigga down like he's going through the TSA. Yeah, because like it easily comes off, which is what you kind of want, because you don't want to leave a bunch of foam pieces behind, and if you're gonna move or something like that, you don't want to just leave foam glued to the fucking wall.
You just gotta get heavy ass like thrift markets, like those big ass blankets that got like.
That's what I want to do for the windows.
They're like always like brown, and they always have some type of animal on it, like those.
Dude, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's the only type of stuff that we have in my grandma's
Flea
house.
market and thrift store shit.
Yeah, but for now, this is where we find. I'm gonna order a lot more.
Alright.
Because this is not fully enough for the size of a wall. It's gonna need like, this type of wall is gonna need like another row of them, so it would be like a 3 by something grid, and
3
so
by
it's gonna take
5, 3
Yeah.
by 7.
3 by 5, 6, 7, somewhere in that realm.
I'd
But,
say 6.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it. Yeah, 6.
But yeah, it's definitely caused a noticeable difference for the audio in the room, and I can watch my videos in here in the middle of the night, and like not have to wear my headphones and get a fucking headache for like 3 hours, and then not fully disturb them completely. And I can kind of blast music at a reasonable volume and not have it pretty much go out into the hallway unfiltered, because this is just a very, very thin door, as you can tell, because the very front of my door, my brother Michael kneaded and put a whole fucking hole in it like nothing.
Oh, there's a hole in my door. I
It's
was
just-
arguing with my dad, and I closed the door and I locked it. So he was gonna go. I guess he was gonna open it. He turned it with his left, and then he gripped it with the right, his right hand, just to like. He was gonna go in shoulder first, his left shoulder. So he let in with his shoulder, and his like leg and his whole lower body followed. So it's just like his little like toe cap. It's just like in the bottom of like the door. It looks like a mouse hole. And I keep asking him about that, and he goes, "That was you." I was like, "You're bugging. That was you."
They had to do that at my dad's house. There's a door that's always been a little bit kind of fuckety, and what happened was my little brother and my little cousin went in there to play some video games, because it's pretty much like it's been a storage room for the longest, and now it stores one of our cousins because she's in there with all that shit from decades ago. But they locked themselves in there by accident and they couldn't unlock it, so my dad had to break it down. But since they've been watching TV and they think ramming your whole shoulder into the middle of the door is gonna do the job, he managed to do that, and the whole fucking lock broke off. But I found out that the best way to break down a door, or at least just break it open,
Is with your Metro card. You're unlimited. That's how I do it.
it's
My door works like that.
Is to take a stance, wear a heavy shoe, and kick
Your
right
Timbs!
my Timbs, and then kick right next to the doorknob,
Y'all act like y'all don't got these materials.
because I would just bust that shit in, and then you can pretty much just open the shit. But my dad
Yeah, just slide a
rammed
Metro
that shit
card.
like a rhino. But like he had to save his child from this locked room. Oh man, that was fucking weird, man.
I locked myself in the bathroom when I was little. Scarred
I-
for life. It was a glass door too.
I got stuck in an elevator. Only one time I've ever been stuck in an elevator. I was like 9 years old, and it was the first time. It was one of the first times I was going upstairs to my dad's house all alone, and my mom was like, tell your dad to call me when you get there, or call me when you get there. And it was like waiting 10. It's like a duplex building, so it only rings every other floor, because it's like, oh, it goes from the first floor to the second to the third to the fifth to the seventh, because those middle floors are like the second floor of your apartment. So there's like no ninth floor, because the ninth floor is like where my dad's bedroom is, because you go up the stairs and that's where the front door is. And it's weird like that, but I was waiting for it. It was like ding, 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 and then just when that shit stops, like the weight of the world comes back down on your shoulders. And I was in there alone, and I remember I literally walked up to the thing and I was like, I was pushing all the buttons and shit. I was like punching the buttons, and then I literally went to the door and I hit it, and I was like, no, please. And then I jumped once, and then the thing just went ding, and it just kept going back up. And it probably took all of 20 seconds, but I was like, I'm gonna die in this fucking box right now. I'm gonna die today in here. And it scared the fuck out of me. And I was only like one floor left, and then the door opened, and I was like, oh god. And I left, and then I went and I just fucking had a nap or some shit. It's fucking hilarious.
I like telling the story when I was almost kidnapped.
Well,
I like telling the story.
Okay.
Just because it's... I like to make stupid theories about that.
Well.
So, I was like, what, 3? I was pretty young. 3? Maybe 4.
Why are you asking me, dude?
I'm asking myself. I don't know. I don't remember this shit. But apparently, we're at Sunset Park. You feel me?
Throw up the gang signs for the podcast.
Yeah.
Eventually, I'll add my webcam or something. I don't know.
No. So we were there, and I was little, and I think they were setting up like the picnic or some shit, or we were cleaning up, and they just left me unattended. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do me, be a gangster. I'm gonna take a stroll. I'll be right back. Some guy found me, and he was like, yo, come through my car. They got some really cool stuff.
Well.
And I was like, what you got? He was like, I got candy. I was like, I mean, that's alright, but I could get that at home. And he's like, I'll get you a puppy. I was like, word? A puppy? I was like, I'm down. Let's go. Right? Apparently I had this, like, because again, you know, thrift store clothing, I had this really, like, distinguishable coat.
Yeah.
So my mom's like running around the park. She's like asking people if they've seen me. Have you seen this kid in this ugly ass coat? And they're like, oh yeah, that's a fucking abomination. I saw that he's over there. He's across the street. There's some grown ass man. And I'm just chilling. I'm chilling, holding this guy's hand. I'm chilling. I'm like crossing the street, and then my mom yells. I'm like, whoa! I was like, yo, that's my mom's. I was like, yo, can she come too? She can see the puppy. And the guy just bolted. He just left me there. I was like, damn, no puppy, no candy, no nothing.
Oh my god.
And my mom got me. And I mean, I was too young to remember. I honestly don't give a fuck. But after they told me that, I started to I was like, how do I know? I go to my dad or my mom. I'm like, how do I know you guys didn't fucking kidnap me? And you guys just told me that, like, how do I know that you're my real fucking parents? And they're like, oh, maybe I'm not. Get the fuck out of here. I'm like, oh.
I thought you were going to say something like, how do I know that nigga didn't actually have a puppy he wanted to give me?
Maybe.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah. I mean, that was it. It's nothing too crazy. I've gotten lost a lot of times, but that's just growing up. Yeah. I don't think I'd get kidnapped nowadays.
Nowadays.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I'm just a fully grown and capable person.
I look at myself and I don't think I look grown. I still think that I look like a freshman, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it's weird.
I feel like we all have a look to us of like a fresh-faced kind of college freshman.
No, I don't look at myself like that at all. I don't know why. I've never looked at myself and been like, people say, when I went to Virginia and I told them I was what? I was like, no, I just turned 17. They're like, really? Because all people from Virginia talk like that. I go, really? I thought you was like 19. And I was like, nah. And then I cut my hair. I donated the hair.
Yeah.
And then everybody was like, oh, now you look younger. And I was like, oh.
I mean, more hair seems to be a sign of more age. I remember, like...
It just fills out my face. That's what I like. Is that, like... And that's a thing. And I had this conversation with one of the waitresses. It's like... You should let your hair down. Because it fills out that emptiness. Like...
Yeah.
The side of your head. It fills that out and it gives
like
more shape of
there.
everything. Yeah. And it's just like... That's why I like...
Yeah, that's why I took such a liking to when I got my hair cut and I was able to just let it down, because I only do this right now because these headphones will fucking clip my hair and rip chunks of it off. But when I let my hair down now and actually look at myself, I'm like, wow, I actually kind of like it when the hair covers a little part of my face over here and a little bit back there. It gives a totally different feeling and vibe. And then recently, after having that for a while, I pulled it back again and I was like, who's this nigga? Like, it was weird.
Yeah.
It was totally different. But I want to experiment with my hair more.
I think it fits me because I'm fat now. Like, the skinny Josue could have, like, the mohawk. He could stick with that. But
I wonder what the skinny me would have.
Fat Josue can stay with the long hair. It drives attention away. And it fills out everything. So it doesn't look like a...
Yeah.
How would you say it? It just...
Like a little pointed head.
Yeah. It gives more everything. It's like, oh, everything about him is voluptuous. You feel me? Yeah. That's it.
I want to look like I could easily be like an anarchist, communist kind of person in school. I feel like I have that roughness to my face. I don't have a lot of facial hair, but like my sideburns grow kind of like right here.
Don't even.
And I get a little rugged, and like the neck beard goes in.
Frankie.
Like, yeah. It's not as intense, just like a little strip of it, but like I feel if I let all that just fester, because I can't grow it anymore. I've given up my hopes of growing a Hughes level beard. But like,
I don't even want that. I just want fucking like the mustache and then like the chin strap.
That's what I want right now. I want to have a little bit more of my beard. I have an eyebrow on my chin.
So that I could wear hipster glasses and I have like this nice ass little thin ass fucking...
I like my mustache. I've never shaved it at all. This is just 18 years natural.
No, I shaved mine once. I should shave.
I've shaved my beard twice in my life, and it's done me no favors, to be honest. Because I just look like a small little baby, little
I think it
round
would.
face.
I don't think it'd do too much for me just because of the long hair. But if I didn't have the long hair, I don't think I would shave. But I'll probably do it next week. Now that we're talking about it, that's another goal.
What I'm trying to do is, like, my dad has a decent soul patch going on, like a little tiny
sure.
strip.
I've seen
and
it.
I'm trying to tend to my own, and I've been shaving it
like
on and off for
Papa
weeks.
Rock.
Yeah.
Papa Rock soul patch.
Papa Rock soul patch. God.
Oh yeah, the chin strap is this. That's the soul patch. That's what I meant.
What I want is like not like I want to have enough friends that have
friends in general.
Yeah. I just want to have a friend. I want people like Michelle who are really into makeup and stuff like that and looks, just so that I can go to them and have them experiment and mess with me.
Let me tell you something.
I'm willing to be a guinea pig.
I think that because I'm somewhat of an artist, I can draw a bit. I can do sketches decently, like black and white, just straight up like pencil, like sketches like that. I see the way certain things look, and I see that like I feel like if I really wanted to, I for sure could get into makeup. I know that. It's really just like
it's something that's
again
really
it's the same
cool.
shit, using the certain color to fill out this certain space, and then it makes me think, because whenever I draw eyes a lot, and like a lot of times it'll just be like with pen, but sometimes I'll add a little color to it, and then I'll like experiment with certain colors and the way certain things go with each other. But yeah, but because I do that, I stare at my face a lot, so I know exactly why my face is asymmetrical. I could tell you every little fucking thing.
I learned that to find out how your face kind of naturally actually looks, when you look at yourself like head on in a mirror, that's kind of your brain's fixing stuff a little bit for you, so you look a little bit more even-sided. So every once in a while when I look in the mirror, I feel like, oh, this is nice. I forgot that I look like this. And then I took the tip, which is like, if you take two mirrors and like angle them at a 90-degree angle, you're not going to be able to look directly at yourself, but from like a couple of different angles, you'll get a view of your actual face. And that's when I started to see like, oh, because I have a weird kind of jaw, it lags off to a little, I think it goes to the left a little bit. And I have a slightly more squashed face.
I could tell you for sure that this eye, the little like slit on top of it, I could tell you that this slit is smaller than this one. I could tell you that for a fact. I could tell you that my nose bends to the fucking right. I could tell you that. I could tell you my lips. When I see my face, I don't see a straight line like down the middle. I see kind of like this little like curvature that starts from the top left, goes down. It's right, and then it curves back down left a little bit because of my lips.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I
recognize that now.
Yeah, because it's not that like I'm upset with the way I look. I don't give a fuck. Mm-hmm. You feel me? That's gonna take me to a certain level, but it's whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just interesting just to look at myself and be like, this is like, I see these little things. I see this is like, it's me just trying to be, I guess, just know what's up with my face.
Yeah.
Just because, like, if I sketch myself, I did it once or twice. Like, fully. But, like, I've done, wow.
Fuck him
just leave that shit. Leave it on the floor. Yeah, but I've done it, like, once or twice fully, and then, like, a lot of different times, like, individual, like, my eyes only, and it's always this eye, my right eye, that appears to be smaller because the slit on top of it is further down than the slit on top of the left eye.
I definitely noticed.
And so it's like, oh, that's why I see myself like this. Small things like that. Yeah. I still don't know how to draw Asian eyes. That's a big struggle for me.
Actually, like photorealistic, or are we talking like hentai eyes?
No, I'm talking like photorealistic.
I can never imagine myself drawing it all, but I can imagine myself definitely being able to like.
I want to draw again. I haven't drawn in a minute.
Because I have images that always went through my head. It's just that I envy people who have a drive to want to draw and animate stuff.
Oh, for sure.
But I just know that it's not the creative thing that I'm personally driven towards enough right now. Because every time I draw like a stick figure or something like that, it looks like a mistake of God. It's something that does not want to live, and it's just it's very like hard for me to be like start from the ground up.
My bad.
For when it comes to fucking animation, because I started from the ground up with rapping and shit, and I've gone through every single possible thing. I've gone through crazy shit ever since I started rapping when I was like 11. And at this point, I still feel like I have quite a ways to go. But to go ahead and also say, let me just add on fucking being able to draw beautifully. You know, it's a little bit too much, but I would love to be able to find people who like draw album covers for me, because I always imagine my album covers as actually being art, like pieces, paintings, or animations or something like that, rather than like blatant photographs. I would save that kind of photography or just like videography for music videos and stuff like that. And that's why I want to learn. I want to learn those kinds of fundamentals.
It's easier for me to make a video than to draw.
Yeah.
Just because I know what angle I want, and I know how to, I guess, get that in a certain way. And I know what I want to be at a certain speed and to match up with this and that. It's easier than on just like one like piece of paper.
Yeah.
But like I'm able to do it. I'm able to do that. Again, like I haven't sketched in a while, but if I do and I really care about that shit, I just gotta find people to fucking draw. Yeah. People that I don't see every fucking day.
Yeah.
For the last 4 fucking years. But yeah, no, I'll get back to it eventually.
But when it comes to like drawing, you have a whole new baggage as opposed to like just filming or taking a photo, where when it comes to taking a photo or a film, you just have to be like, okay, where am I going to position myself
You could fuck up
this
in
area.
both things and still call that success.
But in this other place, you have to be like, okay, now I have to find my position here, but then I have to craft everything around this position from the ground up to look exactly like I want it to. It's ridiculousness. When it comes to like how intense that can be. But hopefully if we still have time around, like I think now I want to make a music video for the fucking new song. But the only thing I want to think of now is like, what's the concept of the video? If there should be like a story, or if it's just us rapping or something like that, or if it's just you doing what you're doing now on Instagram, filming yourself making funny faces.
Oh,
I'm so kawaii sometimes.
I learned this very young about myself. I'm very expressive in my face.
Very much, yes.
And I have honed like in on that because it's so simple. I did it Thursday. We went to the networking dinner.
Yes.
Networking in quotations.
Take your name tag for these people you haven't seen in 6 months.
Yeah. Who are you again? Yeah, no. And they were talking again about certain school shit that I don't really feel like. The fact that they admit that mistakes were made with us and that now they're changing it, I was just like, I do my typical.
You guys were guinea pigs. Yeah.
It's a lot of facial stuff.
Yeah,
I don't mind because that's part of the comedy.
Yeah. I kind of envy that. I feel like I only like how I look when I'm in like resting mode. When I just have my resting bitch face on, that's when I'm like, I'm content.
I don't know what
I don't
my
like when I
face looks
smile, like widely, because my cheeks are very.
I got dimples. Those are nice, I guess. But I don't brush my teeth. I don't care much about oral hygiene like that. Like I don't care if my teeth are super fucking white. Like I don't give a shit about that. But if I feel pain in the back, I'm for sure gonna be like, oh shit, I gotta check this shit out. But I don't. Like I brushed this morning. But
I had to worry because the way my teeth are set up.
Fuck braces. That doesn't do shit. Everybody's teeth are fucked.
Nah. Like, I don't care at this point anymore. My teeth are just gonna be how they are gonna be. I just worry that because my teeth are very crowded up, that when I brush, some of them don't get brushed as well. I have to be like the very generic, just I floss a lot because my teeth are kind of fucked up. So it's not as easy as flossing regular aligned teeth. But dental hygiene is something that I just want to, I also just don't want to offend anybody with ass breath.
Oh yeah.
So
I've done that plenty of time.
That's why I'm so happy that now that the wound is closing from my wisdom tooth surgery, I can just fucking have gum again and use mints and gum as a shortcut. Because some days I wake up and I brush and I'm just like, I'm gonna have some fucking eggs and I'm not gonna give a fuck about the next person I talk to, and what their personal feelings about that scent are. But yeah. Oh, man. When we were back on the music topic, one thing I want to...
Yeah, go for it.
We were there. One thing I always think about is, like, not just creating my own music, but the idea of personally or, like, somehow being able to express to, not just music, but, like, any kind of creator, being able to express that they have impact is something that I kind of, like, fantasize about a little bit, or just really want to do. Like, when I got to meet Tech 9 and all them, I was like, what, 13, 14, 15? And
you met Technique. I'm super fucking...
Yeah, that was really, really interesting, because it was like, he was the most unique celebrity sighting I think I had, because when I talked to him, he seemed to genuinely want to say something and communicate something to me as an individual. Meanwhile, like, every other celebrity has just been like, hey, I'm that guy you know. But if I had started doing it all the way back from Tech 9 and stuff like that, if I had the maturity... There's another one. I don't care at this point. But if I had the maturity and, like, depth and ability to express myself like that back then, I would have been able to go up to Tech 9 and say, like, wow, you've really influenced me, and I hope that you know that, Because, like, even though I'm sure they get it all the time, a lot of people who create on these large scales that I see all the time, I mean, I just want to let them know, like, I know you get this all the time, but personally from me as an individual, I have to say that you have definitely had a positive impact on somebody's life, like the way that they go about their daily life, you have influenced that in a way that like changes them for a more positive good. Like if I could really give that kind of talk to somebody,
oh, for sure,
I would give it to, at this point, Kanye West has been massively, and also the guy who got me to truly appreciate some of Kanye's most genius work. There's a guy named Cole Kushner who has a podcast called Dissect. I would love to talk to him. I sent him a voice clip for that podcast, and I managed to get on.
Oh,
I'm like 50 minutes in, but I'm like a little tiny snippet talking about the album, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. But and Kendrick Lamar, Kanye West, and all of Brockhampton at this point. And there's a couple of other YouTubers, definitely the Game Grumps, because they're the one channel that I go back to constantly, and I'm always able to laugh, like no matter what mood I'm in. Just anybody who's decided I'm gonna sit down and do this, spread my voice or my image or an idea out there and see what sticks. And if it stuck to me, I just want to be able to say like, oh, you did it. You succeeded in that.
Especially Aaron.
Oh, definitely.
He's someone who kind of like started off doing his own thing with animating, and then I guess, but it was always voice acting, I guess, was the main thing I think that drove him.
His beautiful voice. Voice gives me such
there was the small period of time where I was like, I could do voices, I'm gonna do that too, but I can't. So for him to start off like that and then start the Game Grumps, and then it's more than just like, oh, niggas playing video games now. It's like they're creating a lot of shit. Like they have their own like little series going. Motherfuckers, like, and he's going back to voice acting, which is I'm excited. I like watching certain shit and then being like, oh, that's fucking Aaron's voice. Because even though he could do a lot of voices, you could just tell. He was on Rick and Morty. He was on
He was on. I don't remember when.
The Birdman Wedding. He was like, do not be offended. He's like, I am not staring. I am. Yeah.
He's like, I am not staring at you. I am a photograph.
Yeah. So him there, Magic Mighty Swords, I think, is the other one, and just a whole lot of different small stuff. Man, but it's just cool to see. And then Ninja Sex Party with the music again. And
yet Dan Avidan has definitely been, like, I love Aaron because he seems like a very down to earth, intelligent guy. The way he speaks, he's like, he's almost like blunt deep. He's not the kind of guy to like poetically wax about shit. He's the kind of guy to just be like, just do what the fuck makes you feel good. And then like everybody's like, wow, that's so profound. And it really is, but it's just said in a very concise, funny way. And Dan Avidan is definitely like, he's the kind of guy that I would aspire to be like, a guy that just took a fucking chance and went ahead and did something that he wanted to do and managed to find success, because he stuck to the fact that he's a creative guy and he wanted to put positive vibes out there. And it's funny because I can feel that same level of like appreciation from his music that I do from Brockhampton. And Brockhampton, they all wear their hearts on their sleeve, and they're all very open about their experiences. They talk about the mental illnesses that afflict them. They talk about their sexuality that they've struggled with. They talk about their place in society. Meanwhile, Ninja Sex Party is over here talking about the year 69, where sex was outlawed, and there's samurai cops that prevent people from fucking. And it's like, you can see the heart that was put into that. I would love to be able to like sit down and have a conversation with them about like their kind of success and stuff like that. I also think two people who are really appreciative on YouTube that I really like start to appreciate the depth that they've gone to now are Super Mega. Super Mega are fucking, they're so hilarious, dude. They're so fucking funny. And then you get to sit down and listen to their podcast, and they have so much more to offer. That's what I want to be able to do. Not just have this, just like be able to actually offer some kind of other creative thing. So if I can have the podcast that we have right now and the music, then that would be amazing. And when you're talking about voice actors, one that I'm starting to see and recognize more often everywhere is Psychic Pebbles. because
yeah,
I always his voice was always a standout, iconic voice. But now that I've heard him talk more often and stuff like that, his range has really come to be shown, and just like fucking he's a madman, and I love it. He does not give a fuck. He's hilarious. Oh, man. There's so many funny people that I really wish I could just like. If not, I don't want to fanboy over them because I know a lot of them are like very different with their interactions with fans. Some of them are like, come up to me and say hi. Others are like, just don't fucking touch me at all. But if I could just like somehow let them know that they've been appreciated for something that they really work hard for, you know, by somebody who isn't close to them, so they don't feel like they're obligated. Somebody who like, oh, I grew up way the fuck out here in Los Angeles, and some random ass person from New York City is like, oh my god, that's amazing, thank you for this. That would be something that would make me fucking feel incredible. So it's like, I don't know, I never wanted to feel like that egoism or anything like that, but I definitely want to be able to give that to somebody if that's possible, even if they've had it a million times. Just even like if there's this personal meaning there for me. Fucking panels. I can see that it's off. I'm gonna spray that shit later.
Well,
yeah,
that's been
another episode.
Yeah,
it's been a little over an hour.
Nice little chat.
Yeah, I think eventually I may try to see if I can add the webcam component, but I need to actually have good lighting in this room. But, thank you again for listening to another podcast. Bye.
Bitch.